tracks. Bravely we proven our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Good to see you. Well, I don't know if anybody's even here yet. We'll find out. I got too many tabs open on my fucking computer. Bunch of the tabs at top just mean I probably got too much shit going on. That's how much ice I'm allowed. Right? Not much. Still got this tooth hurting. Anything cold screws with it. I've cut way down on my soda. Proud of myself. Like my wife went to the store the other day and I said, don't buy anymore. Don't buy anymore. No, I hope I stick with it when my tooth feels better. Certainly do. All right. We're going to be talking about advocating today. Oh, I missed one. And yes, I've been taking little sips of Coke, but trust me, you don't want me to feel this way and then be detoxing from caffeine also. Or you're going to get dick Dion. And I can be a dick. I'm not bragging. That's just the truth. Got some therapy done. My therapist absolutely agrees on everything that I do. It's funny you say RFK is proud of me because I just left a message for him. I did. I left a message for RFK. If the Attorney General is going to sit here and post shit that he's going to go after RFK Jr. about our funds, while the Attorney General is sitting over there taking kickbacks and blowing our money on bullshit, he's wrong. And he's gonna run for governor next. He's planning on our Attorney General is gonna start run for, and he's just doing this to look pretty. It's the only reason. Yeah, but people will find out when I protest this stuff. I haven't really worked on that much. Really don't need much. Signs, water, food, people. Really don't need anything else. You don't need anything to be on this. As long as you don't block the entry of people or interfere with traffic or go on the private property. Otherwise, you're okay. So thank you, America, for my freedom of speech in the Second Amendment. This goes right along with advocating. It certainly does. What did I do? I just did something to advocate. I wrote East Metro Detox and pretty much said, if you don't get in line, because they're the one putting in the new detox and their resources lead right. Yeah, I know. That's right. RFK knows a couple of things about steps to recover and being super high and leaving a dead bear in Central Park. Yeah. I don't know the full story, but I do know that RFK is in the program. Shh. You can see it in his eyeballs, man. I always know when somebody's in the program doing the work. I always know. Their eyes shine. Just like mine shine. You can see it in my fucking eyes. Look at them. Besides the determination and the lazy eye there. All right, maybe if I go this way. There, now you can't tell I have a lazy eye. I'll just keep looking this way because I don't want to be embarrassed by my lazy eye. I fucking care. All right. Yeah. I let them know that if they don't change their resources because they use the same resources that got my friend killed, that I will be coming after them too. That I will take their $3.1 million back and I will find a different vendor in order to put up our new detox. And that the only reason that they have the money is because I said something. It's the only reason that they even have the money, and they better respect it. So here's the deal. I'm going to make them pay me. I'm going to make them pay me to do those resources. Anything less than that is going to get a protest. Yeah, he's pretty open about it, Leisure. That's why I want to get in touch with him. Like personally, I didn't talk to anybody. I had to do an email, and it probably won't even get to him. So if somebody can show me how to write to RFK Jr. by email, I would appreciate it, because we need his fucking help. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let RFK, I'm going to give all RFK all the evidence, or his office at least, all the evidence that I have of what the Attorney General has done. Yes, I will. I'm not going to be putting this one on Podbean until Podbean gets their shit together. All right. And they're promoting certain shows. I'm like, why don't you promote mine, man? Just kidding. I don't want them to promote it, because then I'll have 20 people show up and I won't be able to keep up. So I am getting a little wore out. My brain is kind of going, but I have direction here. I have some direction. All right. I have to admit that I've kind of been putting out some posts that are a little passive aggressive, that are going to create more fear amongst the bullies. I'll admit I'm doing it. There. I told on myself. There's my amends. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name's Dion. Leisure said people with lazy eyes are alcoholic too. Thanks for pointing that out, Leisure. Welcome to Daily Trudge. But if you're here, please say hello. Whether you're watching the live or the rewatch, we're going to be talking about advocating today. I would say that the best piece of advice that my therapist gave me today was, I have to remember that this is a marathon. Right? I know that it's new for all of you, kind of what it is that I'm talking about, but I've been doing this 4 years now, and I've had enough. 4 years. I've been trying to get, well, actually, it's closer to 3.5. That way we're not lying, right? Okay. To effectively advocate for yourself, understand your rights, communicate clearly and assertively, believe in yourself, gather support, and practice setting boundaries. They just describe me. I like it when I look this stuff up to figure out what I need to do. And I'm like, oh, I'm doing all this stuff. Yay. Maybe I do know what I'm doing. All right. I keep forgetting to breathe, so you'll probably hear me take some exasperated breaths. Here's more detailed breakdown on how to advocate for yourself. Number one, know your rights and your needs. Research. Understand your rights and what you are entitled to in various situations, including workplace, healthcare, education. All right. I know I've done the research. I'm living proof of the research. I've been in this field over 30 years now. Right. But Dion, you were drinking. Even while I was drinking, I was getting people sober. I have a lot of friends that I 12-stepped at the bar that are sober today. More sobriety time than me. I have very good friends, probably about 20 years off meth now. Mm-hmm. Right. And all I did was give them direction, but it's just, they needed help and I was willing to give it to them. It sucked. I will admit that, I was telling them what to do and I couldn't follow my own advice. That's true. That part is true too. But I've been working with people very long time, since I was about 18, 19. I'm 54 now. Right. I know addiction. I know alcoholism. I know how the clinical side works because I was there. I've experienced it. I worked it. I did my due diligence. Right. On top of that, the rest of my stuff is in the banking industry. for fraud. That's what I did. I was a national recruiter and trainer for a check conversion company. And I also did fraud. 90% of my job was fraud. And I know bullshit when I see bullshit. I have a criminal mind, so I know what you're going to do next. It's pretty tough to get around me. It's tough to fool me. It's still done every now and again because of my stupid empathy. All right. Empathy, which probably turned into sympathy, right? But know what you're talking about. If you sound like an idiot, nobody's going to listen to you. Nobody wants to listen to your anger. They don't. That's why I do my best not to yell into the microphone. You don't want to fucking hear my anger, man. Not only that, but I'll blow out your ears. And I just sound, well, silly. So I gotta be careful of that, which leads to the next one: self-reflection. Identify your needs, goals, and values to know what you want to advocate for. This guy came up because my therapist and I were talking about it. I got my gallbladder out about a year ago, right? And at that point, I was on 120 milligrams of duloxetine. It's an antidepressant that also helps with pain. Okay, it's not addictive, but the withdrawals from it are horrible. Enough with the dead bear, dude. Hey, Amber. All right. And so I was on 120 milligrams, and the first day I was there, they did not give me the med. Okay. And I was already starting to feel it. And they're like, well, it's just a little high, so we're concerned. And I showed them my empty pill bottle. I'm like, look, here's your proof right here. And they wouldn't believe that. And they're like, okay, well, we still got to get it through the doctor. I'm like, okay, but I'm going to let you know now, if I do not, you have Isaac? Okay. If you do not get me my meds by tomorrow morning, you will have a different Dion on your hands. I promise you this. And I didn't get it. And when my doctor came in the next morning to talk to me, I held him hostage along with the charge nurse and my nurse for 40 minutes. And I advocated. I yelled and I screamed at them for 40 minutes. Now, I know sometimes anger isn't the way to go, but I was in a lot of pain, not from the surgery, but from the fact that I was getting brain zaps. Yeah. So I'd have to say I was a little off my rocker. Okay. I got my meds, but that wasn't my point. My point was, and I drove it home, I said, the reason I'm doing this to you is so you don't do it to the next person, that you listen to your fucking patients, you assholes. Yes, that's how I talk when I'm like that. Okay. All right. Well, I had a need. And the need was, if I didn't get that med, it wasn't a good thing. I'm all the way off that med now. Thank you, God, for getting me off of that. I appreciate that. I got an email probably from Kathy. No, Blue Cross Blue Shield. I'm old enough that they send me, Medicaid shit. Not Medicaid, Medicare. Document. Keep records of important information such as dates, times, and events to support your claims. When I work with somebody in this area, you know what I do? I do my communication through email. Not for convenience, but because it's got a timestamp. I learned that by doing fraud in the banking industry. It's SSL certified, which is legal in any court. Right now, the Attorney General office is just completely kind of denying that they even had a meeting with me. I have the emails of them setting up the meeting with me and the follow-up email. I figured out who his name is not Robert Kennedy. His name is Robert Booth II. And he now is the assistant United States attorney in Albuquerque. Right? I called and left him a message earlier saying, I don't know if you remember my case, but I want to know why you never followed up. And I want to know why the attorney general is advocating, endorsing the same people I reported to you. What is going on with that? He is not going to answer me. But I wrote down when I left the message what it was. I will get his email next, and I will send him an email saying the same thing. And I will hold on to it. If he doesn't reply, what that means is it's what we call nefarious action. Non-action is nefarious. Okay. So keep your documents together. Okay. There's actually a couple people that are helping me, and their names are always going to stay anonymous. They need to be in the background. And they're sending me stuff. I've been getting things today from people. Here, let me read you this. I'll just keep names out of it. It's easy for me to keep names out of it, right? All I did was ask for something, and they came back. They said, this is the message I received from blank when all this happened. Hi, blank. My feeling is that you might not know or understand what is happening. We discovered that blank has billed for thousands of dollars of coaching sessions that never actually has happened, causing great harm to clients as well as our entire organization. And this is actually incorrect. Okay? Now, but listen, blank refused to show us his Zoom attendance records for his Zoom groups and his phone logs. Upon a thorough investigation by our leadership team, we found that the reason he would not show us is because the sessions didn't happen at all. Medicaid fraud and grant funding embezzlement require us to obtain an attorney and take legal action to protect ourselves from losing our entire organization. Everything we worked so hard to build, and 22 other people from losing their income. As you can imagine, we are all hurting and trying to figure out how to work through this enormous betrayal. Now, the person that they said to cannot commit Medicaid fraud. Only the person doing the processing can do the Medicaid fraud. And they were not the processor. It's a lie. It's a blatant lie. That is not how the system works. And I'm very familiar with Medicaid billing. I've had to write DAT notes my entire life so that we get paid. I know how they work. Okay, so it's important that you keep the stuff together. But I'm not going to sit here and do document. Communicate clearly and assertively. That's not a problem for me. I'm extremely assertive. You know what you have to be when you're assertive? Transparent. You know how you be transparent? The only way to be transparent is by being 100% honest with yourself about who you are. And if you don't do that, you cannot be transparent in this situation. You will try to hide things. And I don't agree with all of this, so we'll cover it though. Be direct. Express your needs and your opinions clearly and concisely. Yeah. All right. Use I statements. This one I don't totally agree with. If you're advocating and somebody is doing something, I'm going to say you. I'm going to say we. You can't be assertive and always use I statements. That's not how it works. Not quite. Now, that doesn't mean name calling. Okay. But with everything that I just said, okay, but I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not committing Medicaid fraud. I'm not body brokering. So see, I statements in this just isn't going to work. Okay. But I will go with things like we, or I might say, I think that it's going on because of this, or but that's as far as that's going to go. Not always correct on that. Frame your request concerning So when you're when you do requests, okay. I statements to avoid sounding accusatory. So when you have your requests, what I need from you, see, you couldn't avoid it, right? But they're saying start it out. No, I'm not. If I'm being assertive and I'm putting the blame on me to get the request, that is passive aggressive. That is manipulation. And I won't do it. Listen actively. In this case, the answer is no. There will be no, that it'll be their job to listen actively, because if they don't, they're going to miss something that I say. And then it's going to come back around to bite them. But anyway, in this case, we're trying to advocate for ourselves, right? Listen actively, pay attention to other people's perspectives, and be open to compromise. Now, I agree with this if you are talking to someone who is going through or has gone through it already. But if they are guessing, no. Mm-mm. Now, that doesn't mean that we need to be around, but okay, I would have to say my therapist did this with me today. She was actively listening to help me be in the right direction. But I was advocating for myself with her to help me out, if that makes sense. When we ask for help, hey, I need help. That's advocating. I need this, or this is going, I do not feel safe. That is advocating. Absolutely it is. And that's where the I statements go on. Instead of saying, well, I'm afraid of you. That's still using an I statement, right? You're being scary. No, I'm not. I'm feeling a little fear right now. Oh, well, what's going on? See, and people will react differently to that. But when you advocate for what the advocation that I'm talking about, if the person doesn't want to hear what you have to say, I statements are and this listening actively is off the table. The main thing is this: you cannot lose your calm. Okay. And I'm going to tell you that I've got these little plans in the back of my head. See, it's not hard for me to figure out how to push somebody's buttons, and then you throw it, then you swing at me. Now you're going to jail. And if you think I'm above that, no, I'm not. In fact, it's one of my plans to take one of them out so that people can see their actual true self. I did this several times in halfway houses growing up. I was at Gemini shelter, and everybody else. I was like, he was constantly just hitting on the girls, pushing around. This guy was a bully, right? And one day we're in the main room, the community room, whatever you want to call it. It's where the television and couches were. And there's all this glass along so that staff can see what's going on in there. There's nothing, you could see everything. And we were kind of going back and forth. And I saw a staff member start walking down the hall. And so I made a comment about his mother. And he straight out hit me, went to jail. I did that to him on purpose. Yes, I did. He punched like a bitch, too. I'm telling you, I had a rough growing up, man. It's what I dealt with on then. Gone. Bye-bye. That's why you got to stay calm when you do this stuff. All right. People like to get up in your face. And they would be like, back off from me. They do that so that you'll push. Oh, you touched me. Well, when you get in somebody's space like that, yeah. All right. Practice assertiveness. This will be your best tool. If you stick to the facts while you are advocating, you will get more done. Right? Now, when I talked about being at the hospital doing that, a lot of it was feeling. But what I wanted them to do was see what happens when you don't give somebody their mental health meds. They needed to feel the pain. They needed to feel the pain. Since I was in pain, they're going to fucking join me. And that's what I'm going through right now. It's not necessarily the best way to go. I'm telling you that right now. But it is one way to go. I want these motherfuckers to feel the pain I'm feeling. And they're going to feel it. Yes, they will. Practice assertiveness. Stand up for yourself without being aggressive or disrespectful. That means don't throw punches and don't call names. There you go. You know, we start with, well, the fact is this. These are the facts. Hey, just stick to the facts. Somebody calls you a name. This is your answer. What do you mean by that? We're not even talking about that. What am I doing that I'm an asshole? Go ahead. Oh, you got nothing. Okay. Just like I was saying, your actions and these show what it is that you're doing. And the fact of the matter is you did this, this, and this, and now we are here. Why is that? Right? There's a big one. Build confidence and self-belief. I got a lot of self-confidence. You notice that? When it comes to this arena, I don't know of many more people that have as much confidence as I do. Right? Oh, well, I did a TED Talk and I did that. No, that's not confidence. That's public speaking. I'll still run you under the table. I'll get up there with you. I don't mind. You think getting in front of this camera requires self-confidence? Yes, but not the self-confidence. What happens if I decide to go protest these places and I'm the only person there? You going to be okay with that, or do you need other people? Probably best to have other people, so that at least one other person, in case something happens, then you can be like, can I get a witness? The other thing is, keep your damn camera out. Record the shit. In Colorado, you're not required to tell somebody you're recording them if you are in a public space. No, you don't need to. Told you I got a criminal mind. I know the laws. Believe in yourself. Recognize your strengths and abilities, and don't be afraid to speak up. I don't have fear of speaking up, do I? I used to when I was a kid, because when I was a kid, if I spoke up, I got beaten. Maybe that's the reason I'm not too fearful of physical reprise. I saw my mom about it yesterday, and she's like, "Now you're getting older, so you're not like you were." I'm like, "Mom, you don't understand what I'm saying. You think I do fair fights? I've always been small, and I could kick the shit out of bigger people. Well, when you're grounded all the time and all you did was move rocks and pull weeds when you were a kid, you get pretty fucking strong, man." Amber says, "Witness, I second it. Only one person needs to know you're recording, and that person is you." That is correct. People give me and Scott weird looks when we ask for hard copies of shit. Yes, you should. Especially if it has to do with money. Get hard copies of things. Employment. Leasing. Anytime money is exchanged, you need a hard copy of that receipt, or you're done with. It's already over with because you have no proof of what's actually going on. Document. Take pictures. Now, if you really want to mess with somebody, tell them you are recording. Watch how nice. You know what they'll get? I don't give a fuck. Okay. That's fine. I was just letting you know. What do you mean by you don't give a fuck? What does that mean? Practice self-care. This was one thing that my my therapist brought up to me. She said, Dion, if you're going to do this, you're going to have to do a little bit more self-care. And I agree with her. I'm no longer really in a bad mood as much as I am. Well, I wasn't in a bad mood, but you know, I mean, just like I just posted something. I said, with what I know about recovery services in Colorado, I'm going to burn it all to the ground. I have a big picture of fire right there, right? It says metaphorically, of course, because some people take shit seriously. And I'm going to have fun doing it. Yep. I'm going to laugh the whole time. Okay. They're having a meeting for the Colorado Opiate Abatement Council, which is the first place I'm going. Wednesday morning, if people want the link, let me know. It's a Zoom link. Okay. And one of the people I'm going after, I'm going to let them see that I'm there. And if there's times for questions, I'm going to be asking direct questions about her. I'm going to create more, and I'm going to smile while I fucking do it. Yes, I am. Why? Because I want them to hurt. I know it's not necessarily the right way, but it's the way I'm doing it. I'll make amends later. So take care of your physical and mental well-being to maintain your energy and focus. All right. Some of the mental well-being that I've had is I've already got 5 people in the group. If you want to join the group, well, not you, Leisure, you're not on Facebook. Trudging it together against abuse and recovery. And some of the members that just joined are people that own recovery places and sober livings because they know I support them because I talk to them and they know that I support them. So yeah, I'll let you in the group. But if you think you're going to come in there and spy, I'll know if you are. That's not going to be hard for me. I'm going to let one of them in. How do you think I'm going to get my information to the dumbasses? And I can call them dumbasses here because this is mine. It's my arena. Well, maybe we'll just start calling them bullies. Celebrate successes, acknowledge your accomplishments, and learn from your mistakes. Oh, yeah. When this is done, what we're going to do is we're actually going to hold a party in the street in front of their fucking house. That's what we'll do. Right? See, the difference is I'm healed. I've done everything that I kind of need to do. There's not much more for Dion to do to make himself mentally okay and emotionally okay. I'm not saying I don't have more work, but I've gotten through a lot of it. Right? And when people have fear and anger, they are very easy to manipulate. And I know that. And I'm very good at pissing you off and then manipulating you into doing something stupid in front of everybody so that you get hauled away. And I will sit there by the car, go, bye, have a great time, have fun. Don't forget to write. One of the other things that I'll probably do if I do get them in jail is I will visit them once a week. And you know what I'm going to do? You went about it the wrong way. Do you want to do it the right way now? I'll help you do it. I'll help you do it. Remember, I put you here and I can get you out. But for 5 years, she was so nice. Lord, she was lovey-dovey. All right. I better start wrapping this up soon, though. Because I'm getting tired and I need to decompress because tomorrow's another big day. I have a meeting first thing in the fucking morning about this stuff. So, and I won't be here at 11 tomorrow, just so you know. So it'll probably be earlier, just to let you guys know. So gather support, build a network, surround yourself with people who support your goals and values. I've been doing that. And there were more than I thought. There were some people I'm like, yeah, they're not going to want to do this. And then they send me text messages about shit that's going on, forwarding me text messages. So that's why I started the group on Facebook. It's just a starting point. Pretty soon it's probably going to turn into like a WhatsApp group or something like that. Hopefully what I can do is create an area on my website so that you don't have to sign up for Facebook or Instagram or any of these other things to get to where you need to be in the group. I think that would probably be the best thing for it. Seek advice. This is something that I've been doing also. Don't hesitate to ask for help and guidance from trusted sources. A trusted source is a person that has no qualms telling you that you're doing the wrong thing. That's a trusted source. I don't need a bunch of fucking yes men around me. I already had that in my life. I've had plenty of yes men in my life. Okay. Where I tell them to go do something. Yes, Podfather. I don't know why that's always like the last time I was in jail for 6 months. Well, it was 3 months because it was right. There was one Sunday I was in work release, but I went to jail every night. And I didn't do anything, but I'd walk in my pod and everybody's like, hey, Podfather. Hey, Podfather. I did nothing. It was just because of the way I carried myself. It was because of the way that I did things, because I did not tolerate bullshit. All right. The first day that I was out and headed to work, I was on the bus and this guy leans over and he's like, hey, man, you can get away with a lot of stuff in work release. Yeah, I can show you how to drink and smoke pot and get away with it. And me being an alcoholic, you'd be surprised what my answer was. My answer was this: don't ever fucking talk to me again. Just don't talk to me again. All right, cool. And he never talked, and it spread. Right. I don't know why it's been that way, but I've always used it. Seek advice, join groups, connect with others who share similar experience or interests. I have not looked for any of that, but that's a great idea. Maybe I should go on Facebook and see if there's other groups in Colorado that are doing what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to speed up here. Set boundaries and practice saying no. Identify your limits. Great point. That's why I put this up here. All right, because my it says, remember, it's a marathon. All right. And I put it up here because my therapist said it. We were talking about taking care of myself. She said, remember, it's a marathon. You're not going to get everything done today. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to remember that. So I put it on a sticky note so I can remember that it's okay to give Dion the permission to stop for the day and take care of himself. Or what I will do, and I will run myself ragged without even thinking about it. I'm a Virgo, and once I get hot and heavy on a topic, I'm like a dog with lockjaw. I don't let go. Just ask the people that I'm doing it. 4 years now I've been doing it, and I haven't let go yet. And people are like, you need to let stuff go, and you're going to build a resentment. It's like, you don't know. You don't understand. This isn't a resentment. This is fucking passion. Right? Yes, I can get a little mean, but I'm Gen X, and you fuck around and find out. And I got a lot of time on my hands. I got too much time on my hands. Communicate boundaries clearly, respectfully. State what your boundaries are to others. In this case, I don't know that there's really any boundaries, but boundaries are an extremely healthy tool. I use boundaries quite a lot. And this is usually what it comes down to. Hey, you're starting to cross my boundary here. So let's stop for a second. Okay. Maybe they want some information. I'm like, no. You're crossing a boundary here, man. And you don't cross my boundaries. Okay? I'm not going to cross your boundaries either. Make it reciprocal. Okay. What's great about boundaries? It allows us to stay friends. That means that you and I can disagree on something, but we can still be friends because because I have my own healthy boundaries, because Dion knows who he is. I don't need other people to tell me who I am. I do that all for myself. I don't determine my worth, but I know I'm a pretty fucking cool dude. I am, man. I try and treat everybody with respect. My neighbors, the people that I meet in public, I'm going to give you respect just for the fact that you're there and you're a human being, man. Other than that, I don't really need much because I'm kind of inquisitive. I like to know things about people. So practice saying no. No is a full sentence. No. Learn to decline requests that are not in your best interest. But how are you going to do that if you don't know what your best interests are? See, there's a catch to all of this that requires a healthy mental and spiritual state. I can't just go run around saying, well, God's got my back. God's got my back. Because they're going to say, well, God's got my back. Well, that's not no. Is my higher power guiding me? Yes. Do they have my back? I'm presuming so, but that's not a legitimate argument. Be proactive and persistent. Tomorrow, it's been a week since I have written the Republican state senators, or I forget what they're called. They're not the senators. They're the commissioners, but they're all Republican. I wrote 6 of them twice now, not one reply. Tomorrow, they're going to get a third one, and it's going to be a little bit more heated. Like, why are you ignoring me? There's 6 of you, and not one of you has written me yet. Do you have no concern? Do you not understand? I'm saving your kids. I'm saving them. And if you don't write me back soon, I'm just going to add you to the list of people that don't give a shit and should not be supported. And I lie a little bit. I tell them I have a lot of people that follow me and feel the same way. Kind of pushing a lie, but it's not untrue, but it is kind of lying. So take initiative. Don't wait things to happen. Yeah. See, there are some people that they can't take initiative. And why can't they? Because they don't have the courage, because they don't know who they are, right? Where was it back here? Believe in yourself, because they don't believe in themselves, because they are not educated enough to do it. I get that. I understand that. See, a lot of people are jumping on, and I'm saying my wagon because I'm the one taking initiative. If they're going to come after, if somebody finally hears everything that I'm doing, who are they going to come after? They're going to come after you guys listening to me? No. They're going to come after me because I'm the one that took initiative. Well, I'm not doing anything wrong. There's nothing to do anything. God's got my back. And God's going to say, you're going to pay for your consequences, Dion. That's him having my back. So don't wait. Actively pursue your goals and your needs. Okay. Now, it is perfectly fine that a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm on with this, Dion. I'm with you because I took the initiative. And that's how groups start. That's how leadership works. Okay. See, a lot of people want to be the leader until the consequences happen, until there's confrontation. And I think you've all figured out by now, confrontation doesn't bother me. Right? Be persistent. Don't give up easily. Keep advocating for yourself until you get what you need. Like those doctors that wouldn't give me my meds. I got them pretty damn fast after that. That was me being persistent. I even warned them. All right, we have one more, and then I'm gonna wrap up because we're down to one person, and I think people kind of had enough of my tomorrow. I will do what I can to get back to my. Unless you guys are really enjoying what I'm doing the last couple of days, and let me know. All right, learn from rejections. Actually, I'm going to be who I am. It isn't going to matter. I'll be in the mood that I'm going to be in tomorrow. I don't mean to be a dick, but here I am advocating for myself. Learn from rejection. I think this is great. View setbacks as opportunities for growth and improvement. Yeah, maybe that person wasn't really listening. Maybe I didn't get through to him like I thought I did. So maybe I need to think about how I'm saying things, right? Because what if I would have approached this run around saying, you're all wrong? Every single one of you are wrong, and I am right, darn it. And we're going to do it my way. No, instead it's, I need your help. And that's true. I need your help. I can't do it all alone. I don't want to do it all alone. I don't. Run a marathon by yourself. Come on. No, I need my peeps. I need my peeps. And I don't mind being the ringleader or whatever we need to call it. No. In fact, I look forward to it because I love being the center of attention. Oh, maybe I ought to you're right. And maybe I should get a body cam. Amber says she's got a dash cam and a body cam. Maybe it's time for me to hop on board with some of that stuff. So, but once again, thank you to everybody that, I don't want to say tolerates me, but sometimes I get a little hot and heavy. So, but thank you for being there. Thank you for having my back. It'd be a lot harder. And it was one of the things that I was talking to my therapist about, because I tried to do this 2-3 years ago and nobody would listen. I couldn't get anybody. Okay. And the reason was because my PTSD was really coming out. Okay. And that's what they bashed on. Oh, he's got PTSD. Okay. I'm going to show you PTSD, motherfucker. When you wake up in the morning, I want you to think of me. That's the kind we're going to have. I'm just kidding. Kind of. Sort of. All right. This one's not going on Podbean. So, in fact, I'm not going to put much on Podbean until they start answering my questions. Thank you, everybody, for being. I'm still going to put one because I have listeners and they depend on that. But it can't be something like this because this was not AA. This was not AA. This was Dion taking care of himself. I need to talk about advocating and figuring out where I'm going. Right. I am going to admit sometimes when I'm alone and at night, I start to fear that maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. I go through that too. And then I remember I was asked to do it. Pastor Marsh is back in town, so I got my other friend with me. You don't fuck with her. All right, because if you fuck with her, I'm going to fuck you up. I'll be the one you'll need to visit in jail. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. And I hope